Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome again to our mentoring recovery support group. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Craig. I am one of your recovery coaches here. And today, as always, we're going to bring an article sharing some great information concerning recovery. And so, I am someone who also in recovery, and so today we're going to go over and get right into it. And so this article that I'm going to bring to us today, brought to us today, is by liftoffrecovery.com. You can go online and retrieve this information. It is brought to us by liftoffrecovery.com. All right, and so today's title is, as you can see, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, is we're going to be talking about 10 key life skills for people in recovery. That's right, 10 key life skills for people in recovery. This is our mentoring recovery support group. And without further ado, first topic, we're going to talk about clean surroundings. All right, we're going to talk about this article. We're going to bring some, shed some light on clean surrounding, and then we're going to go from there. So it starts off by saying it's important to learn how to maintain clean living spaces. This skill is about more than practicing discipline. Maintaining clean surroundings is especially important if you have family members. It will also make it much easier for you to return home. Even if you're not in recovery, living with other people presents challenges and obstacles, right? So we're talking about life skills. So the article mention says, even though you may not be in recovery, however, when you residing with other people is very important because you're going to face some challenges and obstacles. By learning to keep your space clean and tidy, you also learn the importance of respecting others and considering others' wants and needs, right? And so a lot of time we may take that lightly, the aspect of respecting people, space, surroundings, because a lot of times people we come from different lifestyles, different backgrounds, and so we one person may do something one way, I may do something another way. I know my wife, she fold clothes one way, I fold clothes another way, and so there is two different style of doing things. All right, and so one of these things we're talking about clean surroundings. All right, so we're gonna get a little further into it. So the next topic we're gonna talk about financial responsibility. Remember, we're talking about 10 key life skills for people in recovery. All right, and so now we want to go get off into financial responsibility. You must also learn about managing your finances. This is so key. When I came out of recovery, out of treatment program and out of incarceration to a reentry phase, I had to understand or learn to begin to understand the importance of financial responsibility. So this article says you must also learn about managing your finances. When you're in recovery, financial management can prove difficult. In many cases, someone who's in recovery is used to using their money to fulfill their immediate desires. And so when I came home, I had to understand that I had to, number one, get a job, right? So that's very important. And then I had to learn how to establish a bank account. And that is so key because a lot of times, if we have been using and we haven't never had the opportunity to establish a bank account, it can be very challenging as well. I remember when I went for a job, but this still with financial in an aspect. I went for a job, I filled out the application, and so when I called back for the follow up, I did the interview. I called back for a follow up, find out the status of the employment, whether or not I was hired or not. And unbeknown to me, I was told that now this is very foreign to me. It says due to me not having a credit score, they wasn't able to hire me. And I thought that was very strange. But I had to learn that these things matter when it comes to finances. All right. So I just wanted to throw that in there, even though we're talking about financial responsibility, but your credit score can also be a contributing factor to some employers, whether or not they want to hire you, because it shows a consistency and you being responsible. All right. So it says, in a transitional housing program, you can once again learn to purchase personal products and food as well as pay rent. You also learn how to buy everything you need that's not provided by the program. You also learn many skills related to financial responsibility. For an example, you'll learn more about budgeting and saving. You also learn about planning for expenses. And so when I was in the halfway house, and I know you probably saying, oh, you got all these stories. But yeah, when I was in the halfway house here in Jersey, South Jersey, that is, and they had what we had to fill out an itinerary form, whereas where we was going, what the things we need to buy, et cetera, et cetera. So we had to pay house dues. We had to buy our own cosmetic. We had, like I stated before, a bank account, and also we was only allowed to have $50 in our pocket cash, because remind you, I'm in a halfway house, so I had to learn get my clothing, my hygiene products. If I wanted to buy food that wasn't served or prepared already, I had to do all that. I had to be more responsible. I had learn about obligations, and so a lot of times people will argue against I'm in the halfway house. Why do I have to pay you house fees or house dues? And I used to tell guys, I said, well, I look at it like this. It's only preparing us for when we get out in society where we really have to pay rent way more than what they was asking us as house dues. And so this article made mention about sober living house, but that is somewhat similar to an halfway house. Those same procedures and settings where this article talks about you have to purchase personal products and food as well as pay rent. Okay, and so these are life skills. These are things that, as a mentor, as someone who will help someone else, this is called a mentoring recovery support group. And so if I was to give any advice or encourage someone who going through the same process or that I went through, such as coming out of residential treatment or coming from incarceration, they may need a blueprint. They may need some advice. They may need some guidance on how to navigate correctly. And so without being without facing so much challenges that they become frustrated and give up. And so that's why we're sharing this information about life skills. That's why I think this information is very much needed when it comes to mentoring, because a lot of times uh, when you're mentoring someone, you want to give the best advice and you want to be there for them when it comes to certain issues and topics such as finances, cleaning. So the next one we're going to talk about, and that is, if I can get this thing to work right, food preparation. When you are in recovery, it's essential to make healthy food choices. It's also vital to learn how to create a meal plan. Likewise, you may need to relearn to shop for groceries. Okay. You can also need to once again learn how to prepare your own meals. Learning these competencies will help you to rebuild your basic problem solving skills. Woo! Woo! In transitional housing, you'll have plenty of time to practice these skills. You also have time to develop a system that works best for you. Learning this skill will also give you an opportunity to bond with those around you. As a bonus, as you perform various activities related to food preparation with your peers, you could end up forming a lifelong relationship, right? And so there's a saying, each one teach one, each one reach one, right? And so by as this article talks about food and bonding, building relationship, that is so vital. You'd be amazed how much interaction just by preparing meals, cooking meals, and how you can help someone along the way who may never ever cook or made a meal themselves. They probably saw somebody else do it, always been prepared for them, et cetera, et cetera. However, doing it actually themselves probably was a challenge. But if I learn it and I'm learning a skill set and I learn how to prepare it and cook it uh, and it tasting good, I can help somebody along the way. I think I did a great job, and I hope the person will appreciate all the skills that I may provide along the way. All right. And so let's go on to another one. This is here, I think, is going to really, really uh, be interesting. Gainful employment. A lot of people, some guys are very apprehensive about gainful employment, especially those who are maybe coming out of residential treatment and incarceration. I hear people say, they're not going to hire me because I have a criminal background. And I dispel that myth immediately. I dispel that myth immediately because that is not the case always. Yes, you may run into a brick wall here and there. Somebody might say, "Oh, unfortunately, we're not hiring you." I'm gonna share with you what I was told by a young lady who hired me, and she says, no matter how many no's that you may get, you only need just one yes to be gainfully employed. And so I always remember what she said when she told me that, and I believe it's true because it helped me. All right. And so gainful employment. Remember, we're talking about 10 key life skills for people in recovery. All right. And so the first one we talk about clean surroundings. The second one we talk about financial responsibility. Then we went on to talk about food preparation. Now we're talking about gainful employment. A good job is one of several things that makes life more meaningful. Gainful employment is especially important for someone who's in recovery. Got something to say about that, but I'm just keep reading. A transitional housing program might help you work towards employment by starting out in a volunteer work. From volunteering, you can move on to find a regular employment. Typically, a program will help you learn how to search for employment, use different methods. It will also teach you how to fill out applications and create or update your resume. You'll also learn how to present yourself during a job interview. This is so key. These are the fundamental steps that one would need to take to find gainful employment. Okay, you will have to have your identification up to date. You will have to have the resume. You will have to learn how to uh, compose or compile a resume. Okay, then you have to learn how to the right clothing for the interview process. Then you have to learn how to conduct yourself while you're in front of the interviewer. So these are fundamental steps to become gainful employed. All right. And so this next one, all this really I can identify with because I actually went through everything that they're talking about thus far. This article is talking about. So let's talk about another one. Goal settings. Goal settings. This is key. This is very key. Learning how to establish goals should serve as one of your top objectives in recovery. Let me read that again. Remember, I told you this is key. The article starts off by saying, learning how to establish goals should serve as one of your top objectives, not two, but your top objective in recovery. For instance, someone may have abused substances for years. In this case, feelings of hopelessness may have become normal. In the midst of drug addiction, many people live each day without aspirations or life goals. Some people may have never set a goal in their life. However, recovery is the perfect time to start defining and going after personal goals. While goals, you can keep your life moving forward. Excuse me, it says with goals, you can keep your life moving forward. You'll also keep old habits from creeping back into your routine. As an example, you may open a savings account, right? Alternately, you might start running several times a week. You can even volunteer for a community organization if you desire. You can even break your goals down into small parts. This is the one right here. You can even break your goals down into smaller parts to make them easier to achieve. For instance, you may want to find employment. In that case, you can set a goal such as submitting 3 applications a week until you find a job, right? And so when I was setting goals for myself, uh, I looked at it from this perspective, and you can use this method or you can use your own. And so I said to myself, I said, well, I'm going to set small goals, excuse me, mid-range goal, and long-term goals. And so my small goals was to regain my identification, such as Social Security card, birth certificate, driver's license, things of that nature. Bank account, then employment, then a bank account. That's how that went. And then after that, move forward towards long-term goal, whereas I'll be able to sustain myself adequately. All right. The next one we're going to talk about, and this one is essential as well. Healthy relationships. All right. If you've never been in a serious, positive, strong relationship, it's very important to do all the right steps that a strong, healthy, positive relationship requires. And that is build upon it step by step. Don't be afraid to build relationship by engaging, by being open, honest, be mindful of others' feelings. There's a whole communicating. There's a whole host of things that construct a relationship. So this article says, healthy relationships. Another one of the most important things you can do in recovery is to relearn how to build healthy relationships. Mastering skills for relationships is challenging for addicts in recovery. Already, you're adjusting to your new life of sober living. At the same time, your friends and family are also adjusting to your positive change. Your friends and family members could respond to your newfound sobriety in many ways. No matter how they respond, it's important you learn how to communicate in a way that will build healthy relationships while you're on your path to recovery. All right? Healthy relationship, all right, by communicating. All right, next one, did I put that up there? And all this is so important. Next one we're going to talk about or share is self-care. There's a common denominator among people who have an emotional relapse. That denominator is poor self-care. This skill emphasizes the importance of finding a high-quality transitional housing program. This kind of program will help you recognize the importance of self-care. It will also help you see what self-care looks like every day. In a high-quality transitional housing program, you'll learn and practice basic self-care. This practice may include getting sufficient sleep, eating right, and using the right coping strategies to overcome depression. You also learn how to overcome negative emotions and thoughts. The next one we're going to talk about, and that is time management. While you were in addiction, you most likely spent most of your time obtaining the drug of your choice. In recovery, however, you must learn how to fill your time pursuing positive goals. For instance, you may pursue a fun activity. You might also spend time on recovery-oriented work. A great way to practice time management is to invest in a daily planner. You can use it to schedule your free time. Individuals in recovery face an elevated risk of relapse due to boredom. Let me read that again. Individuals in recovery face an elevated risk of relapse due to boredom. With the daily planner, you can avoid boredom and reduce your chances of relapse. All right? I hope this information are making sense and useful if you use them. Relaxation is also vital. You learn how to relax in any situation. A top reason recovering addicts relapse is because they use drugs or alcohol to reward themselves. With this in mind, it's vital to learn new skills that will enable you to relieve tension. Relaxation is a vital part of long-term sobriety. You must learn how to calm down on your own. By doing so, you won't need to use drugs or alcohol to escape. Some people might think they're too busy to take time to relax. However, that's a falsehood. Your recovery must become the most important thing in life. With this in mind, it's vital for you to understand that taking time for yourself is just as important as your other responsibility. So true. All right. In other words, making time for you is just as important as everything else in your life. So a lot of times we have to remind ourselves and uh, that sometimes we have to be selfish because we have to really, really take care of ourselves because the old person, the old lifestyle is in the past. And so we don't want to uh, revisit that in no way, shape, form, or fashion. And so therefore, when we're faced with intense situation, as the article says, we have to learn to calm ourselves down and we have to realize and do some self-check or some inventory, all right? Make an assessment of how we're feeling. Do we need to rest? Do we need to eat right? What are the things that I need to become more of a better person today than I was yesterday? So these things, these self-talks, they are therapeutic, they are useful, and you can grow from them, and you need them on a constantly basis. I know I do. I know I do, and so that's the way it goes. The next one we're going to talk about honesty. Honesty. You know, when I came out of when I was leaving uh, Department of Correction, there is a phase that you go through. You go from behind the prison walls or gates, wherever you was at, and you go from there. You go to the farm or camp or treatment. For me, I went to behind the wall to uh, a drug treatment program, and from there I went to an assessment center. The drug treatment program was still, it wasn't behind the wall, but it was still on the grounds of Department of Correction. And then I went to an assessment center, and there, an old head told me, I'm gonna make this short. An old timer told me, says, you know, when you go to the assessment center, there are gonna be signs, big signs posted on the wall as you go down the hall on different floors, and those signs mean something. Don't just walk past them as if they don't exist, because the counselors, they're going to see how much you are paying attention to what these signs are saying. So on the wall there were signs that says honesty, integrity, loyalty, trust, faith, a whole host of positive attributes that once I got there and I began to read them, I began to incorporate them into my lifestyle, my new lifestyle. And so I was like, wow, you know, that's for him to tell me that. I thought that for me, I said that spoke volume of how he wanted to see me succeed. You know, right? How he wanted me to succeed in life, and he told me this, and to this day, I still remember the importance of honesty, integrity, loyalty, positivity, all these things that will help a person grow in their new characteristic of life. All right. And so honesty in this article says in recovery, it's critical that you learn to always practice honesty with yourself and others. Addiction is a habit that requires lying by default. Often, you must lie to acquire your drug of choice. You must also lie when you're using it. Furthermore, you must lie to hide the effects that drugs or alcohol have on you. All these lies create a horrible cycle. The more you lie, the less you the less you like who you become. With this point in mind, it's critical to remain vigorously honest when you're in recovery. This practice is one of the most powerful skills you must immerse yourself in fully for successful recovery during drug addiction treatment. Man, reading some information like that, it makes me want to pause and soak it all up because I know that this is really speaking directly to me. And so I'm glad I was able to run across this, uh, acquire this article. And so let's move on before I get too caught up. Understanding life skills. Understanding life skills. We're talking about 10 key life skills for people in recovery. These skills are the tools you need to navigate the challenges of everyday life. For some people, they come naturally. For others, however, they're exceedingly hard to learn. Yet, anybody can learn these important life skills with training and practice. In some instances, it helps to change your perspective when learning new life skills. You could think of learning these skills as taking on a new hobby. In other words, you could think of it as if you were learning a new interest like music. All right? So don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to learn and grow. Next one, Johanny. How you doing, Johanny? How are you?
Oh, I was having problem with my microphone. I'm doing good.
Okay, good. I'm glad you could join me. All right.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
good
All
information
right.
having.
Huh?
I've been listening to all the information that you have right now. It's good to hear.
Oh, good, good, good. All right then. So we're talking about life skills. All right. And so the next topic we're going to be sharing with you is why life skills are so important. All right. And so I don't know if I ever told you my story that I am someone that's in recovery from alcohol and drugs. And so I had to learn new life skills. All right. And for me, this is so important. So it says, why life skills are so important? The article says not everyone has received the same training and foundation in life skills. No matter your age, however, you can identify what you know with little help. You can also process how you feel about what you need to learn intelligently. As you learn new life skills, you'll discover how to adopt healthy patterns of behavior. You'll also enhance your decision making. Most importantly, you'll improve your self image and self esteem. With the right life skills, you can reduce special health risks related to your addiction. You increase healthy behaviors. Furthermore, you'll learn how to protect yourself from self harm. You'll also learn how to reduce any tendencies you might have for violent behavior. All right. And so the next one I'm going to share with you, Johanny, is let me put it on the board. Can you see the board?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. All right. So the next one talks about the dimensions of recovery, and there are several. And so it starts off by saying, before you start to develop new skills, you must learn the dimensions of life and recovery. These dimensions will serve as your foundation for building new skills. They'll help you create an environment and lifestyle that supports your sobriety. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, better known as SAMHSA, outlines four major dimensions that support your life and recovery. And that the first one, that is community. In recovery, you need social support. This support is the key to maintaining a life of sober living. Everyone in recovery should build and maintain healthy relationships. These relationships will provide critical support when you need it the most. They'll supply you with the love that everyone needs. Community ties can help you to find long-lasting friendship. The second dimension talks about health. During your recovery, you must also make the right decision about your health. We were just talking about health. All right. And it said these dimensions must support your life and recovery. For an example, you should refrain from all drug and alcohol use. You must also maintain a proper diet. Likewise, you should develop a healthy exercise and meditation routine. Now, Johanny, let me ask you a question. Do you eat healthy? Do you exercise? Do you meditate? What's going on?
Well, I try to eat healthy
Okay.
all of the time. And
Okay.
um, back like few months ago, I was trying to exercise as well.
Good. 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 And when you say exercise, you like go to the gym or you just go to the park and walk, that type of thing.
No, I was thinking of myself better for me like buy some weights and go in my backyard and do some sit ups. I was
Yeah.
looking at TV or YouTube how to exercise daily and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. So
Mm.
that's part of a healthy. Me myself, I haven't exercised in so long, and I don't eat healthy all the time. But I think I should get back into it. So yeah, so we're just talking about people who in recovery who need to stay with some type of regimen, whether it's finding friends, building a healthy relationship, exercise, eating healthy. Another dimension this article talks about is home. And so let's see what this article said. It says there's something everyone should have that's especially important to those who are in recovery. You must have a safe, stable place to live. I agree. You need a place where you can feel secure. This place must allow you to share and live out your beliefs. In other words, you must feel supported where you live. At all times, you should feel safe and comfortable. Right? And then there is the last one talks about purpose. As a person in recovery, it's essential for you to participate in meaningful activities. What's more, you must participate in these activities every day. In the beginning, you may need to volunteer for activities to ensure that you're doing something productive. Eventually, however, you can turn your energies toward going to work. In the meantime, you might attend group and create creative activities. It is important for you to have the independence and resources to serve as an active member of society. These benefits are essential for a purposeful and meaningful life. And lastly, but not least, planning for the future. This article says, for many people, there are a few things that mean the most when they're in recovery. Of course, sobriety is the top priority. Next, a good job has considerable meaning to someone who's recovering from addiction. Positive relationships are also vital, important for someone who's trying to improve their life. In general, a life of achievement and fulfillment is what means the most to people who are in recovery. To fulfill this need, some individual might pursue higher learning. Others may take an effort to reunify with family members, no matter what it takes for you to feel fulfilled in life. However, remember, it's always vital for you to maintain your emotional health. Wow. So Jahani, are you still there? Okay. She maybe stepped out. Well, that's it for this week. I was going to ask her a question, but she's no longer there, I believe. And so, as always, every Thursday at 3 o'clock, we are presenting our mentoring recovery life skill for anyone who like to participate. You can always log in, or you can submit your email and we will send you the link, and you can be a part of what we're doing here at Capital Recovery Center. Once again, you can retrieve this article. You can go online, go to the website, and their website, it says liftoffrecovery.com. You can Google it, liftoffrecovery.com, and you will see 10 key life skills for people in recovery. Until the next time, stay safe and take care of yourself. All right. See you, Jahani.
See you. Thank you so much. It was very interesting, everything that you said, and I agree with you with all these that you talk about.
Okay, okay. I'm glad you was able to join. I'm glad you participated. And if you need your paper signed, now how do that work?
Yeah, something happened with my network, and I had to pick up my kids, and
All right then. You
it
take
just
care then. I'll see you
I
probably next.
couldn't hear you anymore for a minute, but now it's back again.
All right, take care.
Take care. You too. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You're welcome. God bless you as well.
Thank you.